Okay, folks, in this video, I'm going to just speak on method type instruction. I'm not a big fan of method instruction if it doesn't have customization in there for the individual
folks, what's going
client.
on? I'm going to do one more video today. So one of my clients, college player, during spring break, he went and while he was on spring break, he hooked up with one of the top coaches. They called this guy one of the top coaches, and he had a lesson with this guy, right? And this guy is a method teacher. And I'm not saying the guy was a bad teacher or a good teacher or a great teacher, but my client contacted me. They got championships coming up the next week in the 2 weeks. And he said, Coach, he said, I'm hitting it fat. And I said, wait a minute, you never hit it fat, right? I said, because what do we work on? We work on soul turf interaction, where you hitting the ball in the club face, and is the ball club face open or close the impact, and then we reverse engineer back from that to see if our balance, our momentum, and our power is correct, right? Because as long as we have our balance and all our power on the table, we can create as much velocity as possible. So I said, okay, send me some videos. He sent me some videos, and it was different. The coach had this player more vertical with his signature move, getting the target side hip way open from here, right? Laying the club down and then trying to square the club. Okay, now here's the thing. I told my client that is a motion that if you ever want to do that, you have to do it in the off season. There's no way you're going to try to do that kind of work in a 1 week, 7-10 day period, especially during tournament season, right? And so we connected. I got him back on track. What I did was very simple. First thing we did, we checked his balance points, right? We didn't worry about the backswing, right? The other coach was so worried about the backswing, a position that he needed to be in. And I was like, no. So we went back to the videos that we did and the data that we did, and we looked at the numbers. And the numbers were really, really, really good. So we said, let's get back to there. So that's what we did. We worked back getting toward those numbers where the smash factor was good, horizontal angle to the club face was good, and the ball was coming out of a decent window. The fat shots went away because the player was playing within his balance, right? The reason why I'm sharing this with you guys, you ladies, is that a method teacher that does not have the ability to have customization is not a good method teacher at the end of the day. You have to deal with the client that's in front of you, not the method that you're trying to push. And that's what happened with this particular client. He was being put into a method instead of the coach looking at the client and saying, this is what you need. And not only that, knowing the client is in tournament season and has championship coming up with Division I golf. Knowing this, right? I don't smash the coach. Everybody has a different way to get to the end zone. I just think that when you're dealing with a method type instruction, make sure that you as a client are asking the coach, is this something where I have to get worse before I get better? Because I don't believe in getting worse before you get better. I believe you can get better as you improve, right? Because we're working on skill set. Ask the coach, what is the daggone learning curve for what I'm trying to improve or ingrain? And if the learning curve is a 3, 4, 5 week window, then just schedule another time to come back to that coach if you're in the lesson, right? I'm a firm believer. I'm not a selfish coach. I don't believe that if you're working with me, you can't go see somebody else. I've sent players to see long drive coaches. I've sent players to see putting coaches. I don't mind doing that because I think we need to give the client whatever they need to be successful. But I do have a problem with forcing players into gingerbread cookie cutter molds, okay? All right, folks, I just wanted to share this. be careful of method instruction. It can be good and it can be bad. It's good when there's customization within the method. If there's no customization within the method, then be leery of it. If everybody has to grip the club a certain way, everybody has to stand a certain way, everybody has to swing the club inside or outside a certain way, be leery of that, right? Because that may not match up with your balance points. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm trying to hit a shot I haven't hit in a while. It's actually when I kind of shut the face down a little bit and I try to sling the ball back onto the green. Take that. Yeah, that's an old school shot. You kind of shut the face down a little bit and you just kind of open the gate and you slam the gate and that ball just kind of slings itself back onto the your target. Let's go over here and look at that. I used to hit that shot a lot. In Louisiana, we have a lot of wind, and today we had almost 2 club wins here in Georgia. But in Louisiana, we get a lot of winds. So that was a shot that you played. You needed this shot every time you played golf. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You had to have that shot in your bag down in Louisiana. But here in Georgia, we get wind, but we don't get that kind of wind that Louisiana gets on a daily basis, right? And I love that shot. I'm gonna have to add that shot back to my bag. I mean, a really, really good shot to have in your bag. But today we had those 2.5, 3 club wins. And this ball is just so easy to play. And this ball hits right up here. Boom. There go the pin right there. And the ball just leaves us, it just kind of curves in. And it doesn't curve hard. When I say it curves back in, you kind of sling it back to your target. I'm only talking 3 to 5 yards, folks. I'm not talking no big old Texas daggone, lay down shot where you're slinging it back in, a Bubba Watson. No, it's a very, very controllable shot. So, hey, folks, keep grinding. Remember, the journey does require work. Again, if you're going to go to a method type teacher, make sure that the method teacher has some customization and make sure that you are the focus, right? Not that the method is the focus. Take care. Peace. I'll take that. Yeah,